good guys, this is Pop That Ollie back on the Loopside channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make dark guitar samples in the style of someone like Travis Scott or Toliver, but let's just jump straight into it. To start out, we're working at 115 BPM, and the final sample after pitching and halftiming and everything's going to be in F minor harmonic. But I'm going to let the full sample play out so you guys can hear it, and then I'm going to break down exactly how I did it. First thing I did to start the sample off was load up Omnisphere and get this preset from the Unclean Machine library inside of Omnisphere. It's part of the Sonic Extensions Bank released by Spectrasonics. But I just started with a very simple little like bell melody. We're working in the harmonic minor scale. I ended up pitching it afterwards, so it's not going to be the same key right now as the final sample. But here's what this MIDI looks like and sounds like. The main important sound for this is the chord progression, and as you can see, all the chord progression really is just these three notes here. Moving down, we pitch this note and this one down one semitone, and then over here we have the same chord except we're just moving this F sharp up to a G. For effects on the sound, all I added was some melodies to give it a bit of a reverse, just to add a little more texture to the sound. And then just some vintage verb, turned the decay down a bit, and turned up the low cut with the mix down at 45%. I prefer using 1980s, but the color doesn't really matter. You can kind of pick which one you mess with the most out of these three. And then after processing in halftime, and then I pitched it up, we end up with this. You can see too, after I rendered it out, I just cut a bit of the melody itself. The next sound we had was this pad from Omnisphere. It was this preset broken Dolby pad from the same bank, and it follows the same chords except I just pitched this up and these ones up an octave over here. Like this. So all I did was just take the middle notes and pitch it up an octave to kind of change the feel and let the melody open up more in the second half. But here's what this pad sounds like. For effects on this pad, all I had was EQ cutting the lows out, and then I think I did the same thing with halftime and pitching on the master, but then I just rendered the sound out, and this is what we have. So then together these sound like this. So I thought that was a really good fundamental bass layer to start with. The next thing I added though was a violin because I needed more more substance to the sample before I could finish it off. So I grabbed this Falcon Bohemian Violin preset, and I just played out on my keyboard these simple notes for the melody, and the melody just follows like this. For effects on that violin, we just had EQ cutting a lot of the frequencies to kind of make it sound more in the back. And then just some RC20 to give it a bit of wobble and distortion. The next sound that I added was just a chop of these. So I just cut parts of these melodies and just chopped it out. And as you can see, I put it on generic bleeding and pitched it up just to kind of fill out the sample a bit more. And then I also turned the volume up to help it stick out a little more. The next sound that I then added was this guitar. Now this guitar from Omnisphere, it's the Nylon Sky guitar clean from the same Sonic extension banks. With this preset though, with the guitar, what I really like about this is if you turn the velocity all the way up, it kind of gives it this different feel. And for presets on this, I had a halftime just to kind of make it sound more vintage and gritty. Some RC20 doing same thing as the last one, just adding wobble and character to it. EQ cutting out the lows because of the halftime. It's gonna make it sound super muddy in the low end, so you want to get rid of that. I got this plugin, this Archetype Corey Wong. It kind of emulates guitar amps and just gives it a really cool feeling. Then lastly, I added some reverb just to fill out the space for the guitar. But before the effects, it sounds like this. Just like super weak and not really sounding like the sound I wanted it to. So when I added these effects, it really gave it that vintage character. The next sound I added was just a bass following the root notes of the chords. And that bass sounds like this. The bass preset is also from Omnisphere. It's called the Growler Moog Bass. All I do for this is I just fuck with the cutoff. It kind of gives it more grit or changes the sound of it, and that's pretty much all I did for this sound. And then I also just cut out some of the high end on it, so it really fills up the lows. It doesn't really take up any of this space. And then the last sound I had was this Perc Loop that I just found in some random kit I had on my computer. And this kind of just gives the loop some swing and motion to it. And then on the master channel, I added this cassette plugin just to kind of help make everything fit together and sound like kind of like it's coming through a tape machine and vintage, like you would find it on an old record. All I did, I think, is I turned off the static because I didn't really want the white noise, and then I just turned up the artifacts and turned down the spread and up the stability. And then lastly, for effects, I also added this portal on the pitched up chop version. It's this YSL bounce preset from my Utopia portal bank here. You can cop that at popthatolly.com. It comes with 50 analog lab presets and 50 portal presets. It's perfect for any loop maker or sample maker looking to upgrade their sound, so go check it out. But yeah, I'm gonna let this final sample play out again for you guys, and hopefully you guys have a good day. Make sure you drop a like, drop a sub, let me know what you think in the comments, and tell me what you guys want to see next time. Anyways, peace out.